Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. First journey is picking out what deck we're going to use. I do this before every reading. This is actually the deck that I've been thinking about, but that doesn't mean that it wants to be bothered. So we do get consent before every reading because I want to be sure that the deck that we use wants to actually provide a message, right? So I'm just going to shuffle the deck until one card comes out. We're only going to take one. So, and it's either a yes or no card. And if it's a no card, we just move on to the next deck. So that's why I have all these decks out here. So while we're doing that, just a quick little setting expectations. What was that? Seven of Cups reversed. We're going to take that as a no. I'm not psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I do know these cards, and my intention is to give you the message as it's coming through to me in as many ways as it is coming through to me. And also, I like to, Page of Swords, the Star, okay, I think we will. We will use, I think this is the Guardians deck. I haven't even actually used this deck for YouTube readings before, so that's fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? I like to explain the cards to you because no doubt you are receiving your own message, your own confirmation, because obviously you're the one that's living your life. So if there is not a message that I'm saying out loud, but there is something that is coming through to you that is very much a message, but also at the same time, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole to fit a narrative. Obviously use your discernment. Not everything in the reading may resonate for you. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. What else though? I feel like I'm missing something. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, I'm just glad that we are both here. But of course, it does help me grow, and I love that. I do feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. If I think of it, if it comes to me, then I'll just message you in in the reading. So, yeah, let's get to it. Great. So, this is a reading for Scorpio, wherever Scorpio is in your chart. I hope you're all doing well. I do not take the cards that flip in the deck because we want commitment over here, and I just don't take them seriously if they don't fall all the way out like these ones did. Let's see. We have Justice, the Knight of Pentacles. That's kind of interesting. They look like they could be the same. The Hierophant and Seven of Pentacles. Lots of Earth. Nine of Cups. Beautiful. Ten of Pentacles. Justice is Libra. Hierophant is Taurus, and both of those are ruled by Venus. Where's Venus right now? Is Venus in Aries? It may be going into Taurus soonish. Anyway, not that it matters. It doesn't have to matter. Although, when it does go into Taurus, though, it is going to be opposing whatever placements that you have, at least in Scorpio. But Justice talks about the scales balancing, fairness. Also, too, I just heard in my head, cultivating relationships. It could be literal justice, literal in the sense of the law, like if you have a case. It could also even just be karma, like somebody getting what they deserve, good, bad, or otherwise. There's a fate aspect with the justice card too. Like I always feel with the justice card like timing, or it, like, the energy is just right. Maybe even receiving karma too. Um which to me would be in the good sense. I am going to read out of the book for each one of these cards because I have absolutely loved everything that the book has been like saying about these cards. It's definitely a non-traditional approach, or like um, interpretation of the cards, which I also love. I mean, there could even be something that happens during Libra season, because I mean, that is the season before yours. I don't know, but that just came through my head. So it says, to either side of the justice, there are two paths. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll hold it up in a second. The traveler needs to stop for a moment and reflect upon the choices before moving along. There is an element of pros and cons to this card. When this card appears, you may well wish to pick up a piece of paper and write down two conflicting situations that you need to decide between, and make a pro-con list. Which scale cup did you fill with more pros than cons? Now you know the path that you should take to lead to what you truly want in life. Or you may see which concern needs more immediate attention to resolve to bring balance back into your life. There's also this full moon back here. And did we just have a Scorpio? Was it a full moon or a new moon? But there's a path on this side. There's a path on this side. It feels very like Two of Swords for some reason. Making a decision, weighing the options. I guess the difference is like the Two of Swords is more about, the person is usually blindfolded in the Two of Swords, and it's like almost making a blind decision. But in this card, like, you can see both options. This or that, right? Weighing the pros and cons. And I mean, there really is, like, there are no wrong decisions, right? I mean, truly using the information that you have now, all you can do is make the best decision for yourself. And, as you head down that path, you just continue to make decisions. That's really it, right? And it's like that whole in the Matrix, the white rabbit says, choice is just an illusion. You already know what you want to do, but we like allow ourselves to get anxious about it because maybe what we do actually want to do, we're afraid of the outcome. We're afraid that it's a wrong decision. We're worried that, it's wrong. And like, there is no wrong. You make a decision, you head in that direction. And again, right? I mean, like, decisions keep coming up and you keep making them. And truly, like, as best as you can with the information that you have. And the most important part is being true to yourself. Is the decision true for you, or are you basing it on somebody else's expectations, what you think you should do? Like, no, don't do that. Don't should yourself. The Knight of Pentacles traditionally talks about slow and steady wins the race. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our energy, because that's generally like what we are using in trade for compensation most times. But where are you investing your time? Where are you giving your energy? Where are you physically showing up in your life? You know, it's your physical body and your health. My dog grabbed his my dog grabbed his little duck. It's that time in the afternoon to play. What I say? It's your physical health. Literally anything tangible, anything that you can get your hands on came through my head. Anything that you place worth and value on. And the Knight of Pentacles is traditionally the slowest moving knight because it takes time for things to actualize in the 3D. It requires dedication and commitment. Anytime that the Knight of Pentacles shows up, I always give this little spiel about not attaching the perception of success to a thing based on how fast or slow it's moving. Truly, like if it is something that feels good to you, if it is something that is true to you, no matter what response you're getting, no matter the amount of growth that you are seeing or not, just keep going. Be consistent, show up. The book says this guardian embraces her fears, passion, and emotion. Each moment has left their marks upon her, most of which have healed. Only the deeper life-changing ones have remained visible. She is a guardian that one simply does not challenge. She has seen the darker side of the human experience and carries that quiet rage behind her mask of icy contemplation. I feel like that's very Scorpio. Our past assists to define who we are now. As this guardian presents herself in a reading, it signifies for you to recognize your feelings and embrace them. They are a part of you. To try to hide from the experiences of the past and pretend they did not happen will only encourage the past to repeat itself. By bringing them to a collective whole, the awareness of old patterns reoccurring can be brought to a decisive end. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like get this feeling about like quitting too soon. And if that's like an old pattern, and especially like I was saying, especially if you quit or I don't know, whatever. I'm like trying to think of a different word other than quit, but especially if that happened because of the perception of success. And true, again, dude, if you love it, if it gives you life, truly, if it lights you up, if the return that you get by investing your time, your energy, your resources, your money into it, and of course if it doesn't cause harm to you or other people, then do it. And don't worry about any outside anything. It's like breaking a pattern and just the ripple effect that would have on things going forward. We have the Hierophant. Just like I said, that's Taurus energy. That talks about tradition. I always, like, every time I have seen this card, to me, doesn't it look like she's doing the splits? But also there's this awakening that's happening here. Like it could even be like Kundalini energy. And really, that's usually depicted as a snake. But really just because, it starts in your root center, your root chakra, and winds its way up through the crown. Right, but there is an awakening here. This is also like very feminine. Like you don't have to, of course, be a woman. It's not necessarily gender specific, but it is like a very feminine energy. Because truly, like, when we think feminine, Like this would be a good depiction of the Empress card, which is also Venus. I know we don't have the Empress out here, but it's literal creation, creating something out of your own image. And also even the time that it takes to develop that. I mean, how long does it take to, grow a literal human in a womb, right? I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. And there's also certain things that happen at certain points within that growing process, right? I mean, like there's 3 trimesters like in pregnancy. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't remember ever hearing more than 3. Right, but I mean, like there are certain things that happen during the first trimester. There are certain things that happen during the second. There are certain things that happen during the third trimester. And it's all growth, right? The Hierophant can be about spirituality. It's traditionally about tradition. So it's the passing along of tradition, which of course can encompass religion. It can also be traditional institutions like school, college, learning, work even, because in all of those environments there is somebody who has the experience, the education, the knowledge, and they are passing that along to you, right? Like they are teaching you, they're giving you their wisdom. So that's kind of where the tradition like comes from, right? I mean, because truly tradition is handed down. But like in this card, right, there's this awakening thing happening. So maybe there is a break in tradition. I mean, I feel like tradition, like it has framework, right? But also like I just my body rejects tradition in most forms. I'm just ugh, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Um but again, right? I mean there's a good framework there, but then allowing yourself to develop what is true for you. So this says, rising above the mountains, the goddess within, in looking to the horizon, the Hierophant soaks in the beauty and awe of this world. She has become aware of the natural nuances that and revels in them. This card signifies that now is a time to honor the environment that surrounds you. Notice the minute details. Appreciate the beauty that makes your environment unique from anywhere else. Okay? I hope you got something from that, because I'm like, what? Although, I mean, I like the rising above the mountains, the goddess within, and looking to the horizon. The Hierophant soaks in the beauty and awe of this world. It's also, too, even recognizing like what you have at your disposal, even if that is a safe place, a sacred space, to make a decision, to figure out what cycles you have been in. Again, like where you want to invest your time, your money, your resources. The Seven of Pentacles is about putting in the work. It's like one of those things of, again, it almost, feels Knight of Pentacles-y in the sense of you can't just plant a seed in the ground and expect it to grow, like without doing anything else to it, right? Like you have to, if you want to see it grow and become something that you can harvest, you have to literally show up every day. You have to water it. You have to prune it. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just forget about it and then be like, wait, why didn't it actually grow? Like, why are there no fruits or vegetables that I can harvest? But then you haven't done shit, right? That's the Seven of Pentacles. It's literally investing into a thing that you do want to manifest into an actual thing. But also, I mean, you have to decide like what that is. There's even this path that's opened up here for this guardian. Oh my gosh, my dog is chewing on his bone. You little silly goose. I'm almost done. Okay. Hopefully that's not too annoying. Hopefully you can't hear it at all. Would be ideal. Him chewing on his bone. So it says, this guardian looks to the portal, to what is calling her to the next phase, her next mission in life that needs to be tended. As this card appears, it signifies that your next path is opening up before you in the most profound manner, through dreams, a desire to be in another area beyond the world you have known to date. Follow it. I love that. And then we have the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which, I mean, the Nine of Cups is usually wish fulfillment. It truly is like your desires being met, feeling purposeful. It's individual, so it's very much like your idea of what is the perfect outcome for you. Cups have to do with our emotions, love, compassion, empathy, intuition. I love the color of her leaves too. This card says, the guardian watches from the skies as a traveler approaches the intersection along the road of life. At various points in life, there are choices to be made, decisions that must be made on one's own with only a gentle, supportive stance from others. I think that it is really effing interesting how the first card in the reading talks about making a choice on which path to go on, and literally the last card, like the bottom of the deck, is talking about the same-ish thing. Although you may feel that you need guidance more than ever at this moment, the choice of where you go from this point is yours to make. Understand that those who love you are most certainly watching over you, but they acknowledge that you are at a time in your life when you need to make decisions on your own. No one else is responsible for the events that happen. They are of your own making. Make them match your highest possible happiness. I mean, truly, you know, like being at a point, and that could even feel overwhelming. Like having to rely on yourself to make a decision, because truly, like, you do have to do some inner work to figure out what is true for you. What would be the truest next step? You got this, man. All right, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.